Wagwan people, we end up back yet again with another video. In today's video, I'll be giving you a preview to Chelsea's game against Man City tomorrow evening at Stamford Bridge. Kickoff is around 6:30 South African Standard Time. Now, this is a massive game, right? And it helps that we are playing at home, right? But as we know, Chelsea at home, they don't perform so well. So it only helps a little bit, only a tiny bit. Now, the reason tomorrow is so important is because right now we're sitting 10th in the table, right? And we have 15 points on the board. Man City are sitting first in the table with 27 points on the board. Our gap to them is 12 points. We could cut that down to 9 tomorrow with a good performance and hopefully a result that matches that. And I'm thinking now, given the given the lows that we've had in this season, right? At certain points, Chelsea looking like relegation candidates, right? Looking like a team that wants to finish 14th, right? To go from that to a team that's only 9 points off the top and they beat the league leaders. I feel like that bodes well for the rest of the season. It's a good omen for the rest of the season because when you look at the rest of the season, you can say, okay, Chelsea have a shot at top six. The top six race is looking very, very competitive because you've got Man City there, you've got Arsenal, you've got Tottenham, you've got Man United, you've got Brighton, you've got Newcastle, Brentford are doing bits as well, Aston Villa are doing bits, and then it's us as well. So it's looking a bit mad. With that said, a win against City tomorrow should fill the players with confidence, should fill the coaching staff with confidence, should fill the fan base with confidence. And that kind of confidence could be so massive for us that it could lead to us finishing top six, maybe even top four, who knows, right? And that confidence as well, I don't think it's only going to have a positive effect in our league performances, but also in our domestic cup competitions, right? So when the FA Cup comes around, we can have a bit of confidence saying, you know what, we went toe to toe with Liverpool, we drew, we should have beat them, right? We went toe to toe with Arsenal at home, we drew, we should have beat them, right? We went toe to toe with Spurs away from home, we beat them for one, cool. And then to beat Man City at home, that shows you a little bit of a track record that this team can achieve things. So going into an FA Cup later on in the season, the boys should be thinking we can win this. If we perform well, we can beat anyone on our day and we can win this entire competition. Now let's bring it back to the Carabao Cup, which is more current, right? Since we're in the quarterfinals of that competition. Looking at the teams left, you got your Newcastle, you've got Liverpool, and who else? West Ham as well. Those kind of teams. I think those are the strongest teams that are left. You've also got your Evertons, your Port Vales, right? I think you've got your Fulham still in the competition. But then if you look at the competition and the level that's required to beat City on any given day, that should show the players that they can win the entire thing, even if they were to come up against a Liverpool in the final. So that's why tomorrow's game is so important. That's why it's so important that these players just leave everything out there on the pitch. If they leave everything out there on the pitch and they give their absolute best efforts and they lose, it's fine. I have no problem, right? I'll come on here, right, on Monday because I have an exam Monday morning. Monday afternoon, I'll come on here, right, and I will pick out the positives from the performance, right? The results might be negative, but I'll pick out the positives and say, you know what, we gave everything, and I'm very happy to see that the boys showed good character throughout the entire game. Cool. But if they don't give everything, that's when I'll be upset. So, yeah, that's how I'm thinking of this. Now, what's good for us is Armando Broja is finally back, right? He's finally off the injury list. And look, going forward, right? Long after this game, it's kind of looking good in terms of personnel who are available to play and who will soon be off the injury list. For example, Christopher Nkunku, right, who got injured during the summer, during preseason, in fact, right, playing against Borussia Dortmund. He may be available for Chelsea's next game after this on the 25th of November, which is fantastic. Romeo Lavia himself, he may be ready to play again in early December, right? But so we're not exactly sure on a definitive date when the players are going to come back. But what's good is that they were seen on grass, training on grass this week. So that's very, very good. That fills us with a little bit of positivity, with a little bit of hope. So things are looking good. On top of that, something else that's very good is I saw that Reece James has apparently rejected a call up, not rejected a call up, but he's foregoing a call up to the England national team in order to focus on his fitness with Chelsea, and I love to see that because for a player to go away, play with their nation, right, it means a lot for them. But I think for Reece, it's the smart decision for him not to go because of all the injuries that he's had. So he just needs to get back in the groove, stay fit for a while, then he can go back to England. Now, anyways, with all of that said, let's get into the lineup. I would play a 4-2-3-1 in attack, and in defense, that would revert to a 4-5-1. But let's just go with the 4-2-3-1 for now, and then I'll tell you about the 4-5-1. So in goal, I would go Robert Sanchez for sure. I need him to be good on the ball tomorrow. I really, really need him to be good on the ball tomorrow. I need him to not dilly-dally. I need him to distribute well. I don't need him making mistakes which put us under pressure. Man City, they're already gonna have quite a bit of the ball tomorrow, right? They're already gonna put us on under a lot of pressure tomorrow. We don't need to make things worse for ourselves. So Robert Sanchez, please make sure with your distribution, make sure with your ability to play out from the back that it's on point tomorrow. Cool. Right back, club captain Reece James. That's an easy decision. He played against Spurs during the week. He was good, right? Going forward, he gave us a threat, number one. And number two, he was decent in defense. So he definitely starts for me. Malo Gusto, my guy, you're just going to have to just bide your time. Keep fighting, keep training well. And your time will come eventually, my guy. So, yeah, Reece James starts at right back. Right centre back, I would definitely go Thiago Silva. That's an easy one, right? We need experience tomorrow. We need somebody who's very positionally aware, especially when it comes to someone like Erling Haaland, right? Last season, we had a bad season, right? That we can all admit. But what I'm actually proud of the team for, one of the few things I was proud of the team for during last season was the fact that Erling Haaland didn't score against Chelsea. He scored against quite a few other teams in the league, but he didn't score against Chelsea, right? I don't think he scored against Chelsea yet in any competition that he has faced us in. So that's sensational. Let's keep that going tomorrow. And having someone like Thiago Silva in the lineup, right? Although he's not as big as Haaland, although he won't be as fast as Haaland, his positional awareness is so incredibly excellent that I think Thiago Silva could be a very, very big factor in stopping Haaland tomorrow. Cool. Left centre back, I'm making a change. Benoit Badiashile comes into the lineup for Levi Colwill. Now, let me explain. I'm doing this because I feel as though recently Levi Colwill's performances have been slipping, right? Because against Arsenal, initially I thought he had played well. And then I saw what other people were saying about him, saying he actually didn't play so well because of this and that, right? And then I reflected upon it. I'm like, you know what? They're actually right. Against Brentford, he looked shaky. Against Spurs, he didn't get tight enough to Kulusevski, right? And he got booked in the first half, right? Which meant that he had to be taken off at halftime. So when I'm looking at those string of performances, I'm like, you, sir, cannot be starting this massive game. Badiashile needs to start this game. Now, there is a point to that where you look at it and say, okay, he's only played in the Carabao Cup against or was it? Who did we play in the Carabao Cup? Blackburn Rovers, right? That was his only game so far this season, right? But my thing is, he's been training with the team for weeks now, right? He's been available for weeks. And Badiashile, much like Thiago Silva, has very, very good positioning, and that helps a lot. Another thing about Badiashile is that he's quite tall. I think he's comfortably taller than Colwill, right? And he might just be taller than Disasi as well. He's quite a tall guy, so he can also help in stopping Haaland tomorrow. Cool. Left back, Marco Correa, easy. Marco Correa, him starting is justified by the fact that he's been so good since he's come into the side, right? Since he's been given a chance once more. And on top of that, one of his attributes, which is the fact that he gets close to the man that he's marking. For example, how he stayed close to Saka against Arsenal, which prevented him from really having the impact that he usually does on teams. Cool. Then the double pivot, I'll go Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Those two, I think, can hold down the midfield, right? Moises, obviously, he'll do more of the ball winning, right? And then Enzo will do more of the progressive play in terms of using his excellent vision to see people making good runs and execute a good ball, right? Which could lead to us creating a very, very dangerous chances. Cool. The three in front of the double pivot, I would go in the number 10, I'll go Conor Gallagher because we will need his pressing tomorrow. We will need to press Man City from the front. We will need to prevent them from playing how they want to play because they want to just have the ball, right? Knock it about, right? With lots of time and space. We can't give them any of that. We need Conor Gallagher in there, right? Disrupting them with his pressing, right? Disrupting them the entire game. You know what I'm saying? He's got that dog in him, and I like it. He starts in the number 10. On the right wing, easy. Former Manchester City boy, Cole Palmer. He's competing with Reece James right now to be the best player, the most talented player on the team. So he starts at right wing without a shadow of a doubt. On the left, I will go Raheem Sterling. I think that this is a game that will mean a lot to him because he's facing his former club, right? He can show them what they are missing out on in terms of them letting him go. He needs to now show them what they let go of, if they didn't fully appreciate him. That's the first thing. The second thing is he's been in the game for a while. I think he's 28 years old, right? He has that leadership, he has experience, right, that he can provide to the younger players. And that's one of the things that's motivating me to start him on the left wing tomorrow as opposed to Mudryk, right? Mudryk, he's finding his rhythm, he's finding his feet, he's happy at Chelsea, right? But I think that starting Sterling on the left is better than starting Mudryk. Mudryk we can bring on later in the second half, right, to have an impact. If it's 60 minutes gone, 65 minutes gone, and we need a goal or something like that, we can bring on Mudryk. But until such time, we go with Sterling. Up top, easy, Nicholas Jackson. He scored a hat-trick against Tottenham on Monday. Apart from that, he wasn't great in other aspects, but I feel like that hat-trick will have given him a little bit of confidence. And we've already seen during the course of the season what he can do, right? When he's just relaxed in terms of his link-up play. That is exceptionally good. So tomorrow, if he can mix his link-up play, right, with the eager runs that he makes, right, that he often makes, that I often see him making, even though the ball doesn't always come, he's always making runs, right, trying to get in behind, which is fantastic. And lastly, if he also just composes himself and when he gets chances, he finishes them with great aplomb, it's looking good. It is looking good. Now, that's the team that I would go with. That's how we would shape up in attack. In defense, what I would want is a 4-5-1, right? So same personnel, obviously, right? It's just that Gallagher would drop from the number 10 into a space between Enzo and Moises Caicedo, and then Palmer and Sterling would also just drop to be in line with those three players. And then Jackson would be applying pressure from the front, trying to close any spaces that he can from the front. I think if we were to do that, then we would make it difficult for City, first of all, to play how they want to play, right? Knocking the ball about along the back line and trying to ping diagonals, right? Or very, how can I say this? Or defense splitting passes in midfield. We try to stop them in that way, right? With Jackson closing down the spaces, right? And then with those five behind him, right? They would be trying to suffocate the space within midfield. This is what I'm thinking, right? Make it very difficult for City to play how they want to play. And then the back four, they just need to be resilient. They just need to be sharp and alert. And I think it could be looking good. I think it could be looking good, folks. Score prediction. Me, I'm going to be the optimist. Me, I love my club. I love this team, right? And I want them to make me happy, right? I'm going to be optimistic and say Chelsea 2, Man City 1, right? I'm going with the Chelsea win tomorrow. I think we're going into this game, even though we are playing at home, we're the underdogs, right? As much as we are playing at home, the pressure is more on Man City to get the result than for Chelsea to get the result. For the Chelsea players, they just need to go out there tomorrow and do their absolute best. If they've done that, we can't fault them, right? Whereas the Man City players are kind of seen as though they should win regardless. You know what I'm saying? Now, what helps us is the fact that Kevin De Bruyne is out, John Stones is out for Man City. So that helps us a little bit, but they're still a good side. So we need to be prepared, especially for someone like Erling Haaland, who's got 11 goals this season already. We need to keep him quiet. And I think Badeshile and Silva are perfect to keep him quiet. So that's the team that I would go with. Let me know what you would go with in the comments. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications to be notified once I've uploaded. I'll see you guys on Monday afternoon because, like I said, I have an exam on Monday morning. So I'll film the review then. Until next time, peace, people.